Okay, welcome to our team call. I'm so excited. We've had such a great turnout for our Tuesday night calls. So I am excited. I know Kirsten is excited. We had a couple requests for some topics for tonight. So let me pull them up. We're going to cover inviting to your cold market. So that's people that you don't know or you just met on social media like Instagram or Facebook, and how to engage with them, and a little bit about attraction marketing too. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about here. So I know for myself, I've always invited to my cold market. Obviously, I started with my warm market, but I dove right into that cold market too. As soon as I signed up as a coach, I knew one of the vital behaviors was adding friends on Facebook every day. So from day one of being a coach, I added at least 3 people on Facebook. Now, I more so follow people on Instagram just because I'm almost maxed out at my friends list. But just to give you guys a little background of my growth, or so that you know, when I started coaching, I think I had 1,000 friends on Facebook, and now I'm close to 5,000. So obviously you're not going to grow that much in a week or 2 weeks, but over time you're going to add more and more friends. Obviously not everyone accepts, and that's totally fine, but if every single day you're adding a couple people on Facebook, your friends list will grow. You will find people that will want to do what you do, want to join your challenge groups, and all of that good stuff. Kirsten, you want to add in there?
So I was one of those people who, after high school, when I went to college.
Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
How about now? Can you hear me now? Yeah? Okay.
Okay, good.
Everyone else can hear me. You're good? Okay. So I was one of those people after high school, when I went off to college, which was like 10 years ago, I deleted everyone on my Facebook. I literally started coaching with like 120 friends on Facebook. That was me. I eliminated everyone. So then I had to like go with my tail between my legs and like add all those people back that I deleted, and, you know, trying to add my old roommates. And I don't know if you guys have done the memory jogger before. The new coach training through Beachbody has an awesome little tool that helps you kind of remember these people in your lives and that you might be overlooking or aren't thinking of, whether that be to invite them to be a friend on Facebook, or maybe that is simply just to engage with them. They might already be a contact you have on Facebook. So it's super important to reach out to these people. So if you haven't, look it up. It's called the Memory Jogger. It is on the new coach training, right actually in the Coach Online office. And you'll find it there where it says like start here. Super simple. It's a great activity. But yeah, I was one of those people who had like 120 friends. And I remember telling Morgan, like, okay, so 120 friends, like half of them are dudes, and a quarter of those people are my family that are like super non-interested. What do I do? And she was like, well, I guess you're gonna have to make some new friends. I'm like, ooh, God, okay, fine, sure. And those first few like friend requests I sent out, that was a weird feeling. I felt like I was some creeper. I was worried about what people were saying. But what
Is she just frozen for me, or is that for everyone? She's frozen? Okay. I didn't know if it was just me or not. Let me text her. But I'll continue talking about that. So yeah, I remember that feeling too as a brand new coach, adding people. It definitely feels weird at first, but as you continue doing it, you just get used to it. And even with posting on social media, I know the first month or 2, I was super nervous. Every post I put up, I was nervous before I put it up. And then you just kind of get used to it. And it's just kind of second nature to, you know, get up and put up a couple posts on Facebook every day, and it just becomes natural. Kirsten said she'll hop back on. She said she had bad service. But when I go to friend request people, don't just randomly friend request everyone. make sure to take a look at their profile first. So for me, when I'm adding people, if they have a dog in their profile, I'm adding them because I automatically know we have something in common. So if you have a cat or if you have kids and you see that she's a mom too, add her because you have something in common that, you know, it's easy. You'll probably get along because you have something in common. So for me, I kind of look for the age range, usually around like 20 to 35, around there, because I'm 26. I just about forgot how old I was. I'm 26, so I kind of look for that age range, and those are the people that I want on my team eventually. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Obviously, you can, if you want to help even more people, you totally can add older people, but I find sometimes there's a disconnect because sometimes they feel weird or strange, you know, getting help from someone younger. I have had some of my mom's friends reach out and join, so that's been amazing. But usually your best bet is to kind of stick to your age range and somebody who's like you, because you're going to have stuff in common. It'll be easy to build that relationship.
Sorry.
You're back. I just kind of went on a rant about like when you're looking for new friends, what to look for on their profile. So I was saying if they had dogs, I add them. For you, I'm sure if they have cats, you add them.
Yeah. And, you know, that's the funny thing, because we started out on Facebook. Instagram wasn't really a huge business driver for us when we started. So Facebook was everything. So it was a lot of creeping, right? Like you'd look at their cover photo, their profile picture, make sure they weren't like serial killers or like creepy dudes pretending to be girls or whatever it was. You would just do a quick little filter through, make sure that, you know, their interests or their values kind of were able to be kind of picked out just by the first few photos that they posted. Because for me, if I saw someone like, you know, posting pictures of like drug use or like crazy partying, I might not be as like inclined because I wouldn't have as much in common with them. So it's usually something I just try and like filter through, like, oh, this person looks like me. Like they have pictures of hiking, or they have pictures of like, you know, their cat, like Virginia said, or maybe painting or, you know, interior design, whatever it is, but just creep on them. But that's why Instagram is amazing, because you can just search hashtags, common hashtags, and then look through and see what people have interests, the same interests as you. And I've had the most growth in my business through Instagram, almost more so than Facebook, but Facebook was the foundation. Facebook started it all. So you still have to add those people to your cold market every single day. And like Virginia said, I'm at that point where I only have like a few hundred friend requests left, and I'm kind of leaving that open. I'm not going out and adding to it, but I know all of you guys can still probably add to your cold market. So keep doing that till you get to that point. But I think that's something you should do every single day. Just make it a habit. When you wake up, send 10 friend requests. It's the easiest business activity that you can do every single day that's guaranteed to grow your business. So keep adding. And that's why I'm going on a tangent here. We talk about sharing your why a lot, and sharing, you know, your story and your journey and attracting people to your market. Well, it's not something you can just do when you feel like it. It's something we have to do every single day, because if you're adding new people to your Facebook and you think everybody knows what Beachbody is, you think everybody knows what your challenge groups are, you have to constantly be in that teacher mode and education mode. All of your posts have to not only attract people to you, but you have to educate them. So don't feel like you're being annoying or redundant, because you get creative with the way you share that information. People find it informative. So they're going to get some questions answered before they even come to you, but they'll still come and ask those questions. So I think that's really important too.
That's so awesome that you just said that, because I literally just told one of my coaches that yesterday. You can share your transformation all the time, because if you're doing the vitals and you're adding new friends, they won't know your story. They'll have no idea. And I know Kirsten and I, over the last 2 years, when we were adding people like crazy on Facebook, and I know we both have a similar kind of, hey, thanks for accepting my friend request, like little paragraph, kind of to introduce ourselves, so they're not just like, who is this person? And I still send it when people accept my friend request, because I think it just kind of gives them, you know, something where they're just not thinking like, who's this crazy person? Why is she adding me? So it's really good to have kind of a little, you know, hey, thanks so much for accepting my friend request. This is what I'm about. You know, I like posting about healthy meals and workouts, and I throw in, a post of my dog every week. So if you like dogs, you'll probably like me, like whatever you want to put. And we can post that in our team page too, because I really like the one that I have, and I use it every time I add a new person. And usually the response is really good. They're like, oh, that sounds cool. Like, I'm all about, empowering other women. Or there'll be no response, which is also fine, because at least they know why you added them. And don't feel bad if they don't reply, because I would say 80% of people don't reply. Like, I would say 20% might reply. But it's kind of a good way to introduce yourself, and you never know. Some people will dive right in off of that, like, welcome message, and they'll be like, oh, what's this online challenge you do? Or what's this coaching? I've kind of been thinking about getting into like fitness coaching. So you just never know who might respond right away, or who might message you a year later and be like, hey, I want to do what you messaged me about a year ago. Like, that literally happened to me this year. And I was like, that is crazy. I messaged her 1 year ago, and she's like, hey, I remember you messaged me and like told me why you added me. I think I want to do what you do. So you just never know. And I highly recommend, introducing yourself, sending a little hello.
Absolutely. And okay, so we've kind of covered a few things here. So adding to your cold market means it's growing. You have a bigger market of people to advertise to share your story to. And then the second thing is the content that you post. It has to be consistent, and it has to be good. Doesn't mean you have to be the most creative person in the world or the best, graphic designer. But if there's something you're struggling in, just look up a YouTube tutorial that'll help you out. For me, I struggled with PicMonkey. There was like this last year, I went on a PicMonkey hiatus because it pissed me off so much. I was like, I do not know how to do this. I can't do this. But I wanted to make graphics. I wanted to make something that looked pretty. And I was like, I tried hiring graphic designers, and it didn't work out. And I just felt like, oh, I can do this. And then Anita Myron, I think it was, posted a tutorial on her YouTube about how she edits photos and how to like cut things out. And it was so easy. I don't know why I didn't do it sooner, but I took the initiative and looked it up, and that helped me out big time. So if you struggle with a certain aspect of the like visual stuff, there's at YouTube everything. You can find something. Okay, so your content's good and it's consistent. You're sharing transformations and whys. One thing that I like to do is usually transformations, or whether it be emotional, physical, mental, nutritional, spiritual, whatever it might be, any sort of health transformation, people are going to like your stuff because it's vulnerable and you're showing a really real side of you. Have you guys noticed that like the fluffy, surfacey stuff doesn't really move people? But then when you get deep and real and share a part of you that's super, super authentic, people like it and they comment on it. And that's my invitation to reach out to them. So if I post a before and after photo of myself, or share something deep and something a bit more, took a few more balls to post than the average post, I will go on every single like on there. And if they're a coach already, I don't bother. But if they're just someone on my Facebook that liked my post, I will go out, and I'll usually do it like a week later or a few days later. I'll look through a post that I did, and I'll message those people. And I'll say, hey, I know this is going to come across super weird and a little random, but you liked a photo of mine the other day that took a lot of courage to post. And it's really nice knowing that people like you support me throughout my journey. I appreciate it more than I can tell you. Thank you so much. That's all I sent. And then they're like, oh my gosh, of course. Like, you're so inspiring. Like, I appreciate what you do. I've been following your journey. And I'll say, oh my gosh, it's so crazy. Like, thank you for that. And I'll say, what are you up to today? And I start a conversation with them. And it has nothing to do with Beachbody. Nothing to do with Beachbody, but I'm creating really, really real relationships with my cold market, because I reached out to them to say thank you. They're replying back, and then an organic conversation will start. And I've met, I've met challengers and some of my coaches through this way, but I've actually met some people on social media, some photographers that I've become friends with this way, like these random people. So by reaching out, this is how you connect with your cold market. They're going to like something, they're going to comment, and you are going to message them. You're going to straight up message them. And you're not going to talk about Beachbody when you get started. You're just going to say, thank you for supporting me. And they're going to be like, oh my God, you took the time to reach out to me. I just liked it. Oh my gosh. And they're going to see, you're posting all the time. You're busy on there. So you took the time out of your busy day to reach out and send some love. And you can copy and paste this message, because it's going to be generic. The first one, like, I appreciate, the love that you've given me on this post. And you know, it means the world to me. It's going to be a couple sentences, but it's going to be impactful. And they're going to be able to feel how truly, you know, appreciative, because you're appreciative of their support, because that's our business. So that's how I connect with my cold market. And then as the conversation, you know, goes on throughout the day, if I have a really good conversation with someone, their name is going down in my June notes, right? So I'm going to be like, hey, I need to invite that person down the road. I need to make sure that I get back to that person, not today, because I'm not salesy and I'm not slimy, and I teach my team not to be that way. But in a few days, I'm going to get back to that person. Unless, of course, they're like, girl, I want what you've got, like, let me in. And I'll be like, okay, let's talk about the details. Let's talk about what I do. But otherwise, that's how I build relationships with my cold market, hands down, is just conversations, and just being super genuine. And don't feel like you need a script. Don't feel like you need to rehearse things. Just speak from the heart, as if you just bumped into someone at the supermarket and they gave you a compliment. How would you respond? So just, that's how I think of it.
Yeah, definitely. I do the same thing. And also another great way, if you guys are into like clean eating or meal prepping recipes, you can post your recipe and be like, hey, if you guys want the recipe, comment below, because then you can send it to them through a message. And then that already starts a conversation, because they'll say thank you, and you can be like, let me know how you like it. And it just starts a conversation. So definitely try and add value where you're creating, you know, conversation between people. It's not just them liking your posts. You want them to engage in your posts and, you know, comment, and then you can comment back and start a conversation. It's just so much easier than trying to force a conversation, because I know in the beginning, somewhere you hear sometimes to randomly message people and kind of force a conversation. And I know Kirsten and I don't really do this because it's awkward, and it just doesn't even feel right to force a conversation like, hey, I saw your kids and I have kids, and like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know where to start. So usually I try and find something super in common if I am going to send a message, and I genuinely want to know something. If they, like, say for instance, somebody has a pit bull because I have a pit bull, and they have a super cute sweater for their dog, then I might message them and be like, hey, oh my gosh, I love that sweater. Where did you get it? Like, that would be a genuine message that I would send someone. But it's so much easier when you're putting out your transformation, and just sending love notes is easy. If somebody keeps liking all of your posts, reach out and be like, hey girl, I noticed you've been liking a lot of my posts. I really, really appreciate all the support that you've given me. So easy, right? And they're going to give you nothing but love back, because you're not trying to force them into anything. You're genuinely building a relationship with people. And that's what this business is all about. And Kirsten and I will be the first to tell you that we absolutely hate when people, you know, try and shove products down your throat. Like, it feels gross. And, you know, we're in multi-level marketing, and people just automatically think that we're going to support them. But if they're going about it the wrong way, it makes us look bad too. So we want to make sure that we're training our team to be genuine, to truly want to help people, and not just, you know, sell a challenge pack. We truly want them to get a workout program, get the meal plan, get the Shakeology, and fall in love with it. And then they will most likely become a coach too, because they genuinely love the products, and they love this community. They love everything about it. That's what we want. That's what we're trying to do.
And that's why attraction marketing is so important. There's some multi-level marketing companies, or people who are working in those companies. And you know, there's Beachbody coaches like this too, who just post pictures of Shakeology. They put the sale price, and that's all they do. They're just a product. They are not a lifestyle. They are not sharing a journey, a story. They're sharing product. And that's what people hate. But that's not you guys. That's not you guys at all. We're sharing our story. We're sharing from the heart. We're sharing authentic content, helpful content. Like Virginia said, like, it's valuable, like recipes and meal prep ideas. Or maybe it's people come to your page every day because they know you're so positive, and they're like, you know what? Like, I'm sick of all this, like, political drama on my news feed. Like, I'm just going to go check out and see what Virginia's doing, because she always has something funny on her page, or, you know, something really cute and inspiring. So that's who you become in social media. You're leaving your legacy as someone who's so positive that people come to visit your page. They might never like a thing that you post, but they might message you one day and be like, I have been watching your journey for 2 years and I'm obsessed with you. And you're like, girl, you haven't liked a single one of my posts in the last 2 years. I have no idea who you are. And they're like, I'm your biggest fan. And you're like, okay, cool. Like, let's have a discussion about this. But just know that every post that you make, everything you do, when you show up 2 to 3 times a day, you are like a little mini celebrity. I assure you. Like, you might not feel like it, but you are, and people love following you. So just make sure that the content you're posting is in line with your values. It's in line with your story and your journey. And it's about your team. And you might not even have a single coach signed up underneath you yet, but you represent a team. You have your own team, and maybe you've been even thinking about a name. Maybe it's time for you to just start talking about that team name and then attract people to it. But I think just sharing the things we love and who we are, it attracts our team. Like, there's a reason why the majority of my team has cats. I swear. Like, I have crazy cat ladies on my team. I have ladies who, you know, have overcome like body image issues. And I'm like, I feel like they embody me. Like, they just like get me. They're so close to my heart. And there's a reason for that. It's because I put that out there. I share that every single day, 3 to 5 times a day, and like 80 times a day on my Instagram story. So people know, like, if someone wanted to abduct me, they might be able to, because I post on my Instagram story like every 15 minutes. And I love that platform because people really get to know who you are. So I guess to sum up, how you attract to, or how you invite to your cold market really starts with that foundation of building a relationship with them first.
Yeah, definitely everything Kirsten said. And I also want to tell you guys, because so often I find people comparing themselves, and I just want to let you guys know, like, when we started, I know my Instagram had 50 people. So we've been doing this a long time. That's the only reason that we have more friends or that we have more followers, because we've been doing this consistently. For myself, almost 4 years, and I know Kirsten's like 3.5 or something, close to that. So just continue on your journey, and I promise you will find more and more people. And I'm really bad at re-quoting quotes, but whatever that one is where you're so close to success and then you quit, and then success was like on the other side. Like, that's where so many people are with this business. They'll do it for a couple months and they're like, oh, you know what? Like, I've only hit Success Club once. And I'm like, girl, you have to build these relationships. It takes time. And you want genuine relationships so that those challengers stay with you for a long time. You don't just want to sell to some random people and then them fall off and you never talk to them again. You want to build those relationships and build that following and just build. I promise you guys it will happen. It just takes time, and that's why we preach consistency all the time, because we show up every single day. That's why we've done well, because we've shown up every single day. And we were not perfect when we started. Oh my gosh, my posts were not good and dark and looked gross and we're not cute at all. But you learn as you go, and don't get caught up in being perfect by any means. Just start. You're going to get better, and you're going to get better. Just like your fitness journey, right? You start somewhere. You might be using a 2-pound weight. You might be using 5-pound weights, but you're going to get stronger and you're going to get better as you go. So use that in your coaching journey and just continue, guys. You're going to get better and stronger, and you're going to continue to rock it coaching if you stick with it.
Absolutely. 100% agree with you. And it's just one of those things that people get so caught up in, like, I have been coaching for, X amount of months. I've never hit Success Club. And so I'll say, okay, let's just back up a bit. What are you doing to hit Success Club? And they're like, well, I'm like, hey, are you posting 3 to 5 times a day on social media in some regard? They're like, oh, no. Are you reading personal development? Well, sometimes. Okay, cool. What are you doing to build your business? So sometimes we need to take a seat and just be like, okay, let's get real for a moment. And I have to be honest with myself some days too, and be like, hey, I'm struggling in this area of my business. What's the reason for it? You know what? The reason why I'm not confident, or I'm feeling like I'm like in my head and thinking I'm a shitty coach. When's the last time I did personal development? This was last week. I'm like 2 weeks ago. And honestly, it's one of those things where you have to be like on top of it all the time. So just have a real conversation with yourself, or reach out to your sponsor coach and be like, I dropped the ball in this regard here the last few months. I know it. I know that I have, but here's where I can improve. Help me do this. Give me some guidance. Give me some love. Support me. And I guarantee you your sponsor coach will be like, yeah, girl, let's do this. We're going to get you there. So if you have yet to hit Success Club, if you've yet to grow, to these milestones, these mile markers in your business, just be honest with yourself and sit down and have a conversation and look and see what business behaviors are you not doing, and then start doing them. Because, Virginia and I both posted in our downline page about pressing the refresh button or the reset button on your business. And there's a lot of people who feel like if you failed or fallen off the wagon, that's it, you're done, you're a failure. Well, I've been in that position so many times where I feel like, oh man, like I didn't lock in Success Club, or I didn't do this, that, or the other when I first started. I can't keep going. Well, that's not true. That's called being in the world of entrepreneurship. That's called being a business owner. And it's not going to be butterflies and rainbows every day. It's a learning curve. And I know Virginia and I both can attest to, over the last 3.5, 4 years, making a lot of mistakes, but learning from them and moving forward and not throwing in the towel, just adapting and getting better at it, or, researching something and applying it to our business. But it takes effort. And that's where I want you guys to really thrive, whether it be inviting someone you don't know to a challenge group, making a conversation with someone. You got to have that confidence in here that you're really good at what you do because you're a good person with a big heart. And that's what matters most. I don't care about your abs. Neither do the people that follow you, because you're attracting real people to you, just like you. There's a lot of people on my team that aren't like super fit, but there's some that are, but like, we're just normal people. We're normal people who care about other people getting happy and healthy. That's what matters most. So just focus on that.
Yes, love it. Does anyone have any questions? We have about 7 minutes left here. Any questions? If you have a question, just unmute yourself.
Hey.
Hey.
Kirsten said that she posts like every 15 minutes on your Instagram. Are you posting like mostly fitness related stuff or just everything in your life?
So on my Instagram story, I post like everything, like clothes that I'm wearing, my workouts. I'll post like a sweaty selfie in there, any meals that were like photograph worthy in the day. Ruby, there's lots of Ruby, but like I said, I have like a lot of crazy cat ladies on my team, and there's a reason for that. But just sharing just everyday stuff, and honestly, make it a blend on it. Don't go too heavy on one side or the other, but I share, like right before this, I shared a picture, a little video of like the ladies on the team call, a little bit of music. I shared like my coffee cup, just random stuff. That people can get a sense of who I am, but it doesn't have to be anything in specific. I just like to share on there a lot. And it's something, honestly, I feel like it's serving myself more than anything. It's like my little diary, and I love it.
Okay. I've been posting like all fitness stuff for the last year, and I've only got one person off Instagram. So I guess I'll change that up.
Yeah, just try. Usually what I try to do on my own Instagram is, the first 6 posts that you make, you can see like when someone clicks on your profile, they'll see your description, your picture, and the first 6 pictures. Just make sure that they're balanced. Okay, so there's some nutrition, there's some workout stuff. Okay, there's a selfie and an outfit of the day, maybe a photo of like flowers or something at the lake. I try to make sure that those 6 are kind of a little bit different, not like all sweaty selfies, because who cares, right? But if you have a little bit of variety, maybe a picture of you and a friend, maybe a picture of you and your spouse or your puppy, or whatever it is, just make sure that there's a little bit of balance throughout those first 6, and always keep doing that. And I find that's my tip that I use every day.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? We have like 5 minutes now.
I have a question.
Yeah, go.
Hey guys. Okay, so with adding people on Facebook, I always run into, like I check out their profiles before I add them, but sometimes they don't have all their information on there, and sometimes they're part of another MLM. What do you guys do, like when they're a part of an MLM? Does it matter which one they're a part of, or should we delete them right away after we add them? Like I don't know what to do. Sometimes I'm like, oh God. So I just wanted to know about that.
I would say it's kind of up to you. Personally, I like try and creep pretty hard to make sure that they're not in another MLM, because if they are, I just won't add them because, they're already diving into something and that's awesome. If I do add them and then I realize that they're with something, sometimes I do just delete them because I'm like, maybe they'll not see it, or they really might just not see it if you realize soon enough. But that's kind of what I do.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure because I ran into that a lot and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to figure this out. So yeah, okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else? Any more questions? 4 minutes now.
Okay, I have a question.
Go.
I'm struggling with getting people, I know I messaged you about this today, Jen, about getting people. So I'm adding people for my cold market. I send them that message, and then I'm having trouble building that relationship. I don't know. I put them in a separate news feed, but it's not working. I'm just not sure how to kind of build that relationship without scrolling through your news feed for 10 hours to try to find the people you're trying to connect with. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I know personally I've started using Teamsy, which is amazing, but you definitely don't have to have that. I used a pen and paper for the first 3 years. But on your Facebook, if you go to your friends, you can go to recently added, and I know that's what I do every day. And obviously you don't want to spend too much time on this, but I try and go to about 5 to 10 people's profiles, and I'll just kind of scroll. If they've posted recently, I'll like it, or I'll comment on it if it's, if I genuinely want to comment on it. But that's really just how I'm building the relationship, just being interested in them. And a lot of times it takes a long time. It takes like a year sometimes to build that relationship when they finally come around and get interested in you back. So don't feel like you're lost. I kind of just, it depends on the person. It depends, what their goals are, where they're at in life. So I kind of just scroll through the recently added friends, and I'll just pick 5 people and I'll go look through their profile and like and comment and just kind of build a relationship that way. I don't really track specifically like that because I'm doing this every single day. So there's a lot of people that I'm interacting with. Kirsten, I don't know, what do you do for that?
First off, I unfollow almost all coaches in my newsfeed. I follow a couple that really inspire me and challenge me to be better. And I follow my team of coaches, but other than that, I unfollow every other coach that I'm friends with because I don't need to, you just keep your blinders on, right? And then it frees up your news feed for people who aren't Beachbody related. So I actually don't have that problem because I have a lot of like random people. I see their news feed all the time. So if I notice someone, I'm like, oh, who are you? And like, I know they're not a Beachbody person. I'll go to their page, like a few things, comment here and there, and then off I go. Keep doing that same thing. And it just builds interest. It creates that traffic on your page because they're probably going to go and creep on you too. So that's usually what I do. But yeah, I just try and track meaningful conversations with people. I don't focus too much on like every new person that I'm friends with on Facebook because that would be a little bit too daunting for me. But any conversation that seems really promising or they're really friendly or outgoing, I'll write their name down. And every month I have a new note in my phone, and that's what I use to track. So I'll have like my success club points, how many new coaches I have on my team, and then the names of people and a little brief, like little jot note if they want like a challenge pack, if they want a coach, or like if they seem like, this kind of person or what, and I'll write all their names down and then I'll keep track of that so that next month I'll go back and those will be all my follow-ups this next month. So.
Yeah, and I know forever I just had a notebook, and every single month I would write down potential challenger, and then I'd write down potential coach, even if they hadn't done Beachbody. And I thought that they might be a good coach. And I literally had that from like January to December. So I could flip through that notebook and like see who never did sign up. And I can go back and like comment and like on their stuff and just build those relationships. I don't think you need to focus too much on, these specific people. I think it's more important just to do it every day, like 5 to 10 people. And that you're building relationships. And sometimes I think it's better that way because sometimes people get turned off if you are too much on their back and they're like, oh my gosh, this girl, she just comments on every single one of my posts, which I mean, some people I do who I feel like